The Carl Jung secret that makes narcissists respect you. Instantly, have you ever felt like you're stuck in an endless loop with a narcissist shed walking on eggshells, saying the right things, doing the emotional gymnastics, just to avoid their next explosion or manipulation? What if I told you that there's a single mindset shift rooted in the teachings of one of psychology's greatest minds that can change that dynamic forever? This isn't pop psychology. This is about reclaiming your power, using Carl Jung's deep insights into human behavior, shadow work, and the unconscious mind. So stay with me until the end, because by the time we're done, you won't just have a phrase to use, you'll have the inner foundation to make narcissists pause, hesitate, and even respect you. Why? Because when you stop playing their game, the game ends. Let's start by understanding what happens when you get this wrong. You know the feeling. Someone talks over you, disregards your emotions, minimizes your presence like you're not even in the room. Your initial instinct. Maybe you raise your voice. Maybe you retreat. Either way, you're reacting, and reactions are exactly what narcissists feed on. According to Carl Jung, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. This isn't just philosophical fluff, it's a blueprint for power. Jung saw that narcissists aren't just power-hungry bullies. They are fractured souls operating from deep wounds, desperately trying to maintain a fantasy of superiority to mask their inner emptiness. Every interaction becomes a psychological test. Can they control your emotional weather? Will you validate their version of reality? Here's the key truth that changes everything. Narcissists don't need to destroy you. They only need to dominate you. That subtle distinction changes the battlefield. Jung taught that we all carry what he called the shadow self, the parts of our psyche we deny, suppress, or project onto others. Narcissists live entirely within their shadow. And every time you react emotionally to their provocations, whether with anger, sadness, guilt, you're confirming their grip over your internal world. They don't need your agreement. They need your emotional investment. Once you see this, everything changes. Jung explained that our unconscious drives operate in patterns. Narcissists are drawn like magnets to people who either submit or spiral. Why? Because both responses confirm their dominance. So what breaks the loop? A phrase, a single sentence that carries psychological weight, energetic finality, and clear boundaries. Starting today, I'm done having these kinds of conversations with you. It may sound simple, but let's dissect why it works. First, Jung believed every behavior, especially in dysfunctional people, serves a psychological purpose. For narcissists, that purpose is external validation. They don't care whether it's praise, tears, rage, or compliance. All they want is a reaction. When you calmly speak this phrase, not as a threat, not in anger, but as a truth, you remove their oxygen. You don't feed their drama. You don't beg for decency. You just step outside the cycle. This aligns perfectly with Jung's concept of individuation, the process of becoming a whole sovereign self by stepping out of unconscious roles and reclaiming your autonomy. Why does this phrase work so well? 3 reasons. 1, it's final. There's no invitation to debate, no loophole for manipulation. You're not negotiating, you're declaring. 2, it cuts the power cord. Narcissists feed on emotional electricity. You just flip the switch off. 3, it asserts psychological sovereignty. You're showing that your inner peace is not up for auction. You control your reality, not them. But there's a catch. If you say the words but don't embody the energy behind them, it won't work. Jung said the unconscious doesn't respond to language. It responds to energy. If you're still simmering with anger, fear, or doubt underneath, they'll sense it and pounce. Narcissists are master pattern readers. They detect uncertainty like blood in water. So this isn't about fake it till you make it. This is about becoming the person who genuinely no longer tolerates disrespect. It's a shift from the inside out. What happens next will shock you. Narcissists often panic when this tactic stops working. Jung called this the collapse of the false self. Their entire strategy depends on controlling your emotional response. When you don't react, when you don't defend, explain, or escalate, they lose grip. That's when they lash out. You may be called cruel, cold, selfish, or heartless. They'll reach into their arsenal, guilt, gaslighting, even love bombing to pull you back in. But here's where the transformation begins. If you stay firm, you break their illusion, you disrupt the trance. Carl Jung discovered something profound. When one person refuses to play a toxic role, the entire dynamic must change. The narcissist either adapts rare or disappears. Either way, you win. You're no longer the source of their control. You've stepped out of the story they were scripting for you. This brings us to what Jung called the death of the compliant self, that inner persona you developed to keep the peace. The version of you that said, "It's okay, I'll just deal with it." Maybe you learned in childhood that being nice was safer than being honest. That quiet was better than conflict. But Jung warned us. We repeat emotional patterns, especially the painful ones, until we become conscious of them, until we choose something different. So here's the full transformation. Recognize the narcissist's need for emotional fuel. Don't feed it. One, understand that even a fight is a form of engagement. Silence and retreat don't work if they're driven by fear. Declare your finality. Say the phrase with calm power. Starting today, I'm done having these kinds of conversations with you. Embody the change. Don't just say it, be it. Become the person who no longer bends for toxicity. Jung called this conscious choice the act of stepping outside our automatic programming. It's the difference between reacting and awakening. When you anchor in a self-respect, something beautiful happens. Narcissists stop targeting you, not because you defeated them, but because they can no longer reach you. Remember Jung's most haunting insight. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. This isn't about silencing others. It's about tuning your frequency so only those who resonate with your peace remain. You stop attracting chaos because you no longer vibrate on its level. Let me leave you with this, that one sentence spoken from true awareness can dismantle years of manipulation. Not through force, through presence, through clarity, through the quiet power of someone who has finally remembered who they are. So repeat it, breathe it, live it, starting today. I'm done having these kinds of conversations with you. And then watch the world reconfigure itself around your new truth. If this message struck a chord, like the video, subscribe and send it to someone who's ready to reclaim their peace. You deserve a life where respect isn't negotiated, it's natural. And it starts the moment you stop playing small. You are not here to be someone's emotional supply. You are here to be whole.